Hristos Adeste. God is good all the time. All the time, God is good. Did you receive your stimulus check? Yes. Your economic impact statement? We did. And while I'm grateful for it, and I did cash it, I can't help but wonder why we received it when we never indeed asked for it. I understand the concept that we are now supposed to go out and spend the money and thus stimulate the economy. But what if we choose to not spend the money? What if we choose to set it aside and wait for this pandemic to be resolved and for things to get back to normal? I'm not complaining, but I didn't ask for it. And I could even argue that this payment was actually forced on me. So there's an amazing parallel here with how Jesus heals the blind man. The blind man didn't ask to be healed. And talk about stimulus. Blind since birth, and now he fully regains his sight. And notice how Jesus engages the blind man. I am the light of the world. As he said this, he spat on the ground and made clay of the spittle and anointed the man's eyes with the clay, saying to him, "Go, wash in the pool of Siloam." So he went and washed and came back seeing. No social distancing here. The healing of the blind man is the sixth or penultimate of 7 signs that Jesus performs. And I love the way St. John the Evangelist arranges them in a sort of beautiful crescendo. Starting in chapter 2 with changing the water to wine. In chapter 4 of his gospel, curing a nobleman's son. Chapter 5, healing the paralytic. Then feeding the 5,000, walking on water. Then this miracle of healing the blind man. And finally, that final sign, the 7th sign, raising of Lazarus, the ultimate sign, which of course sets the stage for the Lord's passion and his resurrection. And these past few weeks, these post-resurrection meetings, all derive from a profound and intimate encounter with the risen Lord. Remember, just a few weeks ago, we heard from honest Thomas. We followed the myrrh-bearing women to the tomb. Jesus heals the paralytic, and then last week he meets the Samaritan woman at the well. All these encounters are not mere history lessons. They comprise the living memory, the anamnesis, which are meant to propel every one of us, dare I say, force us into a real life encounter with Jesus. So even our virtual gathering today is no accident. Every time we assemble, it is God taking action in our lives and in the world. So as the body of Christ, we are not here for some sort of sentimental trickle-down spirituality. As the body of Christ, we have become and are theopte, which means to literally seek God, to discover and receive the wonders of godly insight, true sight, diakrisis. True sight revealed through discernment. Jesus tells us we are the light of the world, but as bearers of this true light, the light of Christ, our singular focus is to discern who we are, which is far more important than what we do. Sometimes we are blind to what is going on right in our midst. We in America are literally at a crossroads as a church. Across this country, it is estimated that 3,500 self-identified Christians leave the church every week. A few years ago, the Sacramento Bee reported, quote, more than 1 in 4 Californians say they do not identify with a religion. A sharp rise from just a few years ago. And young adults are driving the numbers. More than 1/3 of Californians who say they do not subscribe to a particular faith are between the ages of 18 and 29. So it is time to allow the Lord to open our eyes and get our own house in order. Because there is something definitely lacking in our outreach. Something is lacking in our outreach Okay, call it messaging, when we as Orthodox Christians are placed in the category other Christian, along with Mormons and Jehovah's Witnesses. Obviously, we can no longer rely on a particular cultural inheritance alone, in our case Hellenism, to stem this alarming tide of attrition. The blind man himself was born into a favored status as a Jew, but it wasn't until his encounter with Jesus that he literally saw the light. What do we confess? What we confess, what we do confines us and orients us to this world. Who we are, who we know, orients us to God's kingdom. So you know that the bill that we accomplished, that is a what that we did. Who we are inside those buildings invites us to change lives for expanding and dynamic Christ-centered ministries. What we do focuses us on seeing the needs around us. Who we are focuses us on seeing God. So like the blind man, when we discover the door to paradise, let us go through it. So like the blind man, let us go wash in our own pool of Siloam, but be prepared to be sent. Let us be like the blind man who with his fully restored sight knows both what he needs to do and why. So now that we have supernatural eyesight, and we are on that narrow path leading to the fullness of God's love, there's only one question to be answered. Jesus heard that they had cast him out, and having found him, he said, "Do you believe in the Son of Man?" He answered, "And who is he, sir, that I may believe in him?" Jesus said to him, "You have seen him, and it is he who speaks to you." He said, "Lord, I believe." And he worshipped him. Christ is risen. Truly, he is risen.